I raised my son for 12 years, thinking he was mine. But yesterday, a simple school blood test revealed that his biological father is actually my own twin brother. My name is James, and up until 48 hours ago, I thought I had the perfect life. I've been married to Sarah for 12 years. We have an amazing son, Leo, who just turned 12. My twin brother, Dave, has always been the cool uncle. He's the one who travels, rides motorcycles, and never settled down. I was the boring, stable one with the good job in the house. But apparently, stable wasn't enough. It all started with a science project. Leo's 7th grade biology class was doing a unit on genetics and blood types. He came home confused. He showed me his worksheet. "Dad," he said, "the chart says if you're type O and mom is type A, I can't be type B, but the test says I'm type B." I laughed it off initially. "Must be a mistake with the school kit, bud," I told him. But that night, I couldn't sleep. The thought gnawed at me. Type O is recessive. It is biologically impossible for me to have a type B child. The next morning, while Sarah was at work and Leo was at school, I did something I'm not proud of. I went into the attic and found Sarah's old iPhone 4, the one she used back when we got engaged. I plugged it in. I guessed the passcode on the first try. It was our wedding date. It took me 3 hours to find it, but there it was. A thread of messages between Sarah and Dave from the week of our engagement party. Dave, "That night was a mistake. James can never know." Sarah, "I know. It was just the alcohol, but I feel guilty every time I look at him." Dave, "We take this to the grave." The dates matched Leo's conception perfectly. I didn't confront them, not yet. I needed to be 100% sure. I took Leo's toothbrush and a hair sample from my brother's hairbrush. He had stayed over at our place just last weekend. I sent them to a private lab for a sibling DNA test and a paternity test. The longest week of my life followed. I had to sit at the dinner table, smiling at my wife, knowing she might have betrayed me in the worst way possible. Yesterday, the email came. Probability of paternity, 0%. Probability of Leo being related to Dave, 99.9%. My brother is my son's father. I didn't scream, I didn't cry, I went numb, and then I got angry. I realized that my entire adult life has been built on a lie. Every birthday, every Christmas, Dave was there, laughing, playing with his nephew, knowing the truth. They both knew. They made a fool of me for a decade. So, I decided to nuke my life. We had a family barbecue scheduled for this afternoon. My parents were there, Sarah's parents were there, and of course, Dave was there. I waited until we were all seated with our burgers. I stood up and tapped my glass with a fork. "I have an announcement," I said. Everyone smiled, expecting a toast. "I want to thank my brother Dave," I started, looking him dead in the eye, "for being such a great uncle, and as it turns out, a great father." The color drained from Dave's face. Sarah froze, her fork halfway to her mouth. "What are you talking about, son?" my dad asked. I threw the DNA results on the table. "Leo isn't mine. He's Dave's. Sarah and Dave slept together at our engagement party and passed him off as mine for 12 years. The silence that followed was heavy, suffocating. Then, chaos erupted. Sarah burst into tears, screaming that it was a mistake, that she didn't know for sure. "You knew!" I roared, projecting the screenshots of their texts onto the outdoor TV screen I had set up. "You knew, and you let me raise him while you played house." My dad stood up and walked over to Dave. I've never seen my father hit anyone in my life, but he punched Dave square in the jaw. Sarah's mother looked like she was going to faint. I told Sarah she had 1 hour to pack a bag and leave. She begged, she pleaded, she tried to use Leo as a shield. But I told her, "You lost the right to be a mother in this house the moment you lied about who the father was." Currently, Sarah is staying at a cheap motel. Dave is in the hospital getting his jaw wired shut. My phone has been blowing up with texts from Sarah's friends calling me cruel for kicking her out. but here is my plan. I am suing for paternity fraud. In my state, I can sue for every dollar I spent raising a child that wasn't mine. I don't want the money, but I will use it as leverage. I will offer to drop the lawsuit if she signs over full custody of Leo to me. Biology doesn't make a father. I raised him. I loved him. He is my son, and I will be damned if I let those two traitors ruin his life too. Subscribe right now if you think I should take everything she owns in court.